Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Unscripted Coding. Today we're going to be doing something pretty simple, a straightforward project. I have here my standard template, and you can see there's jQuery, there's Bootstrap, there's Vue.js. It's my standard template, and what I plan to do is just put in a text area, a text box, and manipulate text left and right. Now, what's the motivation behind this? Well, I work as a lawyer day to day, and the amount of fixing up and cleaning up text that I have to do is a massive drain and an expensive waste of my time. So I wanted to build a tool, throw it up on GitHub, and make it available for me day to day. One example is text comparison. I see it all the time. Let's say I copy this paragraph and there's another very similar text beside it. Let's just put type 3 in here, and you want to compare it. You don't know that they're slightly different or the same. We can do a comparison tool. Another pet peeve of mine is copying text from PDFs. When you copy them and you paste them here, they have all these line breaks. It's not a continuous paragraph. So something that'll just strip all the new lines is going to be very, very helpful. So what I want to do is put in a text area here, put in a bit of JavaScript so that a couple of buttons will do what I want to see every day. And we're going to call it a day. So it's a very straightforward project. We're going to find a couple of libraries. I already know of one that I want to use and bring it all together. So let's come back once we get a little bit further. Shoot. I didn't record everything. I lost probably the last 10 or 15 minutes. But for the most part, I think most of it is fairly predictable. I found a really useful set of string utilities here. Nothing really mind-boggling, but you can find anything on the internet. Change everything into lowercase or uppercase. But what was really helpful was a sentence case. It's going to put the first character of a sentence capitalized and everything else lowercase. It's not perfect, like if there's a name in the middle of a sentence, it's not perfect, but it does help for sure. So let me show you guys where we're at right now. I'm going to grab some more, this is in Lorem Ipsum. This is actual text on the Lorem Ipsum site. But if we paste this here, we can set it to all caps. A lot of contracts tend to have this all capitalized section to tell you all your disclaimers and as is and all of that. You set it to all caps. That's horribly hard to look at. Horribly hard to look at. So we remove all caps, and you'll find that it's not perfect. English should be capitalized, but there's only so much you can do if you're doing this client side. You're not using AI, you're not using a human being. You can only make your best guess. And what I can do here is then I can make a couple of changes, read it over, fix it up, clean it up as a human person with a human brain. The other thing is we did have that remove new line. What I found frustrating is, for whatever reason, when I copy from this PDF, the words aren't actually properly copied. It has problems with double Fs, Fi. I don't know what's happening with the PDF, but that's not the point. The point here is all of these new lines, you click remove, and they get replaced. And you have a nice, simple paragraph that you can place on Word. Those are all very easy. You'll find that somebody has written the code, and even if they didn't, I don't think it could be all that hard. You use jQuery, tie it to these buttons, you're good. What was interesting was trying to find something to compare actual text. So in this case, these two, we click compare, and you'll find that it's perfectly alike, so it's just the version, but it's just the version you see. But if I decide to take out this comma and using the lorem ipsum, you click compare, and it's going to highlight what's being added and what's being subtracted out. What I was playing around with, I didn't quite catch in the video that I missed, was that I'm using Google's diff match patch library. And this is one that's pretty fun to play with. You can set it so that there's different kinds of comparisons. Now, I don't know what text compare does, but if you use Visual Studio Code or GitHub, chances are they're really geared towards code. You're going to see every little word change. It's going to try and scramble it up. Makes sense. But diffmatch patch is a series of algorithms to make it seem more like a human person comparison between prose. So we have here two kind of similar poems. If you didn't do any cleanup, this is kind of how Visual Studio Code would do it. You can see it's splitting up modern and sticking Carto in there because it's going letter by letter what the changes are. But what you want to do is full words, really. Nobody is changing two letters and jamming phrases in the middle of phrases. You would delete that whole sentence and write something else. So they have this option, Semantic Cleanup, which is okay, but I like their efficiency cleanup more. It recognizes, I don't think it recognizes, it just so happens that it catches these things together. But these are two rhyming kind of poems, songs, and you can see they should correspond roughly together. But the semantic cleanup isn't terrible either. So if I went with this lorem ipsum, pasted it here and pasted it here, and did the same thing, it should realize what's happening and not put it in the middle of words. So you get to fiddle with the settings here. Over here you can see I set an edit cost, a timeout. I did cleanup afterwards to make it work. You can fiddle around with that. I don't really need that. I set it as hard variable constants. And there you have it. I think in a little over a half hour, I've created something that will be very, very useful. I hope you found that interesting. I hope you found that inspiring, actually, because these things, this has bothered me for a very long time. I do this all the time at work to change everything from caps to no caps to move new lines. And you can create very simple tools very quickly that actually help a lot day to day. I'll be posting this up on GitHub. You'll find a link in the description. Hopefully you find it useful. If not, do a riff on this. Build something else that's useful at your workplace. So thanks for watching. We'll try something else next week. Bye.